Hi guys, welcome back to 40 and Beyond. Today, I'm actually getting ready to go to bed, but there has been a topic that has been on my mind for quite some time now, and I have been delaying doing the video. And I said, you know what? I think I need to get this out and this video out because I think it is very important. It's dear to my heart, and I think a lot of people are not aware of what they can do, and what I'm speaking about is in relation to the topic. So do you ever wonder why it is that people get diagnosed with diabetes, and you wonder why didn't they know before that they possibly would have diabetes? Or do you know that you can know prior to getting diabetes that you are on the verge of getting diabetes? Drop in the comments your answer to either of the questions. So now, prior to getting diabetes, it is said that it takes 10 to 15 years of a stage called pre-diabetes, insulin resistance, having insulin resistance before you get the actual diagnosis of diabetes. Now, a lot of persons, when they go, well, let me ask you, when you go to the doctor, does your doctor test your blood sugar? I went to the doctor recently to do a checkup, and all they did was my pressure. That's all. No, they didn't test my, just even the regular prick for testing my sugar. They didn't even do that, right? But my father is diabetic, hence it's so dear to my heart, right? And I just decided to do some research and to find out why is it that he never knew that he had diabetes. Now, what are the signs and symptoms? And learning the signs and symptoms led me to getting to knowing this information. So probably I'm speaking in reverse. So possibly I should be speaking to you about the signs and symptoms. Guess what? I'll do a video about that later. Now, what I want to get out to you is, outside of pricking your finger and testing your sugar, which I think should be done regularly. A lot of people don't do it because they say, oh, I'm not diabetic. But the truth is, how do you know you're not diabetic? Right? Now, another backstory. I took my mom to the doctor. She is 71, right? And she wasn't feeling well. She was feeling low. In her body, she was just feeling weak, and she didn't know what was the reason. No flu, corona going around, no flu, nothing like that. She was just feeling low, but she did have an on and off fever. So I took her to the doctor, and the doctor did his, they were suspecting COVID. They did a COVID test, no COVID, right? So in asking the doctor a question, because I've been doing a lot of research because of myself personally, and I just want to be informed, he realized that I have a little knowledge, So he said, all right, cool, and him answer my questions based on how he feels and, what's his thought on certain things. I may agree with some I didn't agree with based on my research, but hey, you're not going to agree with everyone, and you have to see what works for you and, do your research on your own and get your own knowledge, right? So, in asking the questions and asking him how to boost your immune system, speaking to him about cod liver oil, which I spoke about in a prior video, he said yes, absolutely. Cod liver oil, fish oil is absolutely great to take to boost your immune system. All right, fine. So the fasting I spoke to him about, there are quite a number of topics that I spoke to. You realize that I had a little knowledge. Let me say that, because I'm no doctor, I'm no medical personnel, but I have a little knowledge. I'm not the average patient who goes in and the doctor say, oh, you have a bump on your face, and the bump on your face means X, and you don't ask questions. I asked him. I really prodded him because I just wanted to get information for myself, and also information I can share on my page, and also, how to help my parents and persons around me. So he, in prodding him, he said, you know what, let me run some tests on your mom, right? Because there are certain tests that you should be running once you've gotten to a certain age, because my mother has no diagnosis of anything, no pressure, no cholesterol, nothing. So he ran some tests. Everything came back normal, but guess what did not come back normal? Her HBA1C. What that is a blood glucose test. That it tests how your body or how your sugar performs in relation to insulin over a 3-month period. Typically, that is a test that they use to diagnose diabetes. But guess what? When do they normally get there? Based on the symptoms, right? Which I said I'm going to do a video on the symptoms, some of the symptoms, because I wouldn't be able to explore all the symptoms of being diabetic. So if you come in and you say to the doctor, hey, I'm feeling numbness in my foot, thirst, stuff like that, they may say, okay, let me test your sugar. And if in testing your sugar, the sugar is high, then they may suggest to you to do a HBA1C, right? Or if you're a certain age, they may say to you, okay, you know what, based on your age, you should be doing this test. Now, my suggestion is everyone every 3 to 6 months, do this test. You hear me tell you now? Do the test. Don't wait till you're diagnosed with diabetes. It's not a nice thing. It is not a nice thing. You don't want to get to the stage of losing your eyesight. You don't want to get to the stage of losing limbs. It may sound extreme, but trust me, it gets there over a period of time, right? So there are other videos I'm going to do on this topic because it's so near and dear to my heart, right? When you have diabetes, especially when you get to the stage of taking insulin, just to give you a little understanding of how the body works. When you eat, your blood sugar goes up. Your body produces insulin to take it down, right? The constant eating and having to the body constantly have to produce insulin to take it down works the body, works everything, right? And after a time of possibly doing like 5 meals a day and having the wrong foods that spike your insulin, which is a lot of what standard foods that people eat, the snacking, rice, stuff like that, what will happen is that your body get tired, your body can't manage it anymore, and that's how you now develop insulin resistance. And then after pressuring your body about between 10 to 15 years of having the insulin resistance, then you get full-blown diabetes. No. When your blood sugar should have had the numbers, I'm gonna put them down in the comments. Between 6 to 6, the doctor told me 6.3. Other research have said 6.5. You're considered pre-diabetic. Anything above that is diabetes. So when you do your HbA1c and you get your result and they calculate the number, once it is that the number is above, I'm going to say 6.3 as the doctor told me, other doctors say 6.5, they're going to say you have diabetes, full stop, right? Now, once they diagnose you with diabetes, they're going to put you on the medication. They put you on the medication, you're looking at a lifetime of taking diabetic medication unless you choose to do stuff to try and reverse. So my suggestion is do something before you get to that stage, right? So as I said, doctors don't test you for that unless you feel in a certain way or you now know, because I went to the doctor and I said, hey, write me up to do that test because I know diabetes running in my family. Mark you, every now and again when I go over my parents' house, I'll prick my finger and test my sugar. My sugar is normally, the highest I've seen is 5.5, which is normal, right? But I need to know what my profile is like over the last 3 months period. I'm going to do another video about what you can do if it is that you're pre-diabetic to ensure your insulin doesn't spike. But what I want to get out to each and every one of you, whether you're 40, 20, because my father got diagnosed with diabetes at 30 something, right, like 32 or so, and the research has shown pre-diabetes is between 10 to 15 years. So had he known a few weeks, so that would have been like in his 20s or probably a little earlier, that he would have had pre-diabetes and then got diagnosed with full-blown diabetes at 32, right? And a lot of us are walking around diabetic and we don't know. So it's not as if say, oh, you're diabetic and just hit you down or something like that. How my father found out he was diabetic, he went to the hospital with a broken arm and they were doing a surgery. Also, my sister, when she was diagnosed with diabetes, she went in to do a procedure also. And they diagnosed her with diabetes. So a lot of times we're walking around, we don't know the signs, we don't know the symptoms, we're not doing tests. Do the HBA1C test. Even if you feel the health is perfect, ask the doctor to write you up and do it. It's roughly about, well, the doctor told me, I think it's like 3,750, depends on which lab you go, but he's also making me do a fasting test. So it's 2 tests I'm going to be doing. The HbA1c and the fasting test, right? Even if you don't have the money, try and work up the money, put it together or have it as a goal set to do that test. It is important. You don't want to be diagnosed with diabetes and put straight on medication. Because that's what the doctor wanted to do with my mother. When he tested her, he said her reading means she's diabetic. And that means she's supposed to go on medication. I say, you know what, give us some time and let me come back and test again. Because remember, it's a 3-month reading. I know my eating. I know how I used to eat, right? And I know if I did, back in the days, if I did a 3-month test, for sure my sugar should be off the charts, right? Or possibly in the pre-diabetic range. But I've changed how I eat. And hence the reason possibly why my sugar is where it's at. HbA1c, guys. Trust me, you won't regret it, right? Ask your parents. If you're still at your parents and you still depend on them, ask your parents if you can do that test. It's best. I have family members who were diagnosed with diabetes in their teens. In their teens. As I say, I'm going to speak about the signs and symptoms that you can possibly identify with, but get the test. It's nothing. You understand? Just get the test and just know your status before you get to a stage where you're told, oh, there's nothing you can do and you have to go on metformin or insulin or whatever it is. Alright? So I'm going to go and finish getting ready to go to bed. And please, this is important to me, and I hope it is important to you. Get your blood glucose tested with a test that tests you over a period of time. Not just a regular, just sugar, 1-day sugar test. But you can test the sugar when it's good. And you know, but I'm going to do another video about things that you need to do personally also to know how your body is reacting to the food. But guys, get the test done. Alright, bye. So see you again next time on another 40 and Beyond. Comment, answer the questions that I asked, please. It's important to me, and sharing in the community is also important. So remember, like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. Even if you don't share another video, I ask you to share this one. Recommend it to friends and family. Right? Recommend it to them. So bye again, guys. See you next time.